Hello, everybody. Welcome back to It's On Me with Jess and G. We are so excited to be back and bringing you another episode. And today we're going to talk about college, university in Italy, Australia, and America. I don't know how helpful I'm going to be about Italy because I did not go there. So you're going to get a lot of Australia and then maybe a little bit of Italy, but not that much more.
Fair. And you'll get America from me because that's where I went.
Yeah. So to start off with, what is the application process like in America? Like to go to college over there, university over here, after you go to high school? How does it work?
Great question, Jess. I'm kind of aging myself here because I'm quite a few years out of college. But the application process differs from school to school depending on the size of the school you're going to, if it's a state school, if it's not a state school, if it's a private school. But most applications cost money to get in. I don't know what it's like in Australia, but you have to pay. If you want to apply to a school, like I remember Michigan State, they used something called the Common App, which is like a website that has several schools within it. So you could like type out your application that could essentially be used to send out to multiple schools. But most schools you have to pay to apply. I'm pretty sure Michigan State at the time was like $50 for your application.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so interesting.
Right?
This is so different here.
Yeah. And with schools too, I mean, you apply to get into the actual school itself. But if you want to apply for any scholarships too, because the price of college in America is very expensive, you have to apply for scholarships ahead of time too. And then usually you'll get accepted to your college either first semester of your senior year, which is like your last year of high school, or early second semester, like January, February, even March.
To go to college, do you need to pay outright? Or?
No. I think every college is kind of different, but I paid per semester.
So you do have to pay as you go.
Yeah, definitely as you go. But you don't have to pay for like all 4 years of tuition as soon as you get accepted.
Oh my gosh, it's so different over here. So you're basically not in debt. Whereas I'm in a lot of debt from university.
Well, that's not true. Oh, yes, I am extremely fortunate that my parents helped me with school. But a lot of college graduates come out of school in a lot of debt because like Michigan State, for example, was $40,000 a year.
What?
Yeah, American universities are disgusting.
$40,000 a year, and I'm assuming that's 3 years.
4 years.
Oh my God! What?
Prices like tuition in America is disgusting. I'm so grateful that I had a good scholarship, and I had like a few other little ones too that helped. But that's why I talk about scholarships, because a majority of people have to apply to them because tuition is crazy expensive.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That is, whoa. Whoa. Nah.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Okay. So in Australia, because obviously I went to school here, I don't know really how Italy works. I can look it up. I can ask my cousin, but I don't know firsthand. But in Australia, because I lived it myself, basically how it works is when you finish high school, you do this thing called the HSC, which is a higher school certificate. And basically you do your exams, and depending on your marks, you get a final mark, which is an average of everything, and that's called your ATAR. And then, so that's on a scale. So for example, if you've got an 80% ATAR, then you can apply to certain degrees at university. Like if you want to get into being a doctor, I think you need to have a pretty high ATAR. I don't know exactly how much, but let's say 90. So I came out with 81.5, so I could only really apply to certain things.
Interesting.
Which worked fine for me because I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I didn't have to have like a 95% ATAR. That was not what I was ever striving for. So basically, if you want to go to those schools, you need to make sure that when you do take your final exams, the HSC, you actually get good marks.
Okay, so we do have something similar with our ACTs and SATs. They're just called something different, but that's like an overall exam that you take your third year of high school.
Right.
And it might be fourth. I don't know. I haven't been in high school in a while. But that you take in high school, and you also use that in your application. However, if you score like not so great on your ACT or SAT, you're still allowed to apply to any school in the United States. You don't need like a certain percentage or a certain average.
Yeah, I think even here I think you can still apply, but it doesn't mean you'll get accepted. Like, you need to have, basically, from my understanding, if you have that ATAR, you can get into what you want to do. Whereas if you don't, it's harder to get into doing what you want to do. There's other ways like to get into it, of course. You know, you can't base off everything just your marks in high school. But that's when you're at that age anyway, that's what you think. You're like, I need to get it because otherwise I can't get in, and blah, 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 blah. In terms of costs, though, it's different because public universities, for example, I went to Macquarie University here in Sydney for just 6 months, and I was taking a Bachelor of International Studies. And then I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. But I know that the final degree would have cost me about, and that's for 3 or 4 years, would have been about $30,000 or $40,000. That's the full amount. Okay, that's the whole amount, and that's Australian dollars, right? So already there, I was like, whoa. But I only did that for 6 months, and then after that, I ended up going to a college, and the college was private. So a private college actually costs a lot more.
Yeah.
My degree cost $2,500 per subject. 4 subjects per trimester, because we had trimesters instead of semesters. So 4, that's 12 subjects at $2,500 in total. Anyway, I don't even know, but I know that in total it cost me about 80 grand. But we don't pay for it if we are Australian citizens, or I believe also residents. I'm not sure. We just we do pay for it, but I mean, like, it goes in HICS. So basically, once you start working and you make a certain amount of money, it comes out of your pay, and you pay it off like this as you go. Or you can just pay the full sum or whatever. But so that's why I'm saying I'm in debt, but it doesn't matter. Like, nobody's chasing you for it. Although they've added a very big interest at the moment, so it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So I owe even more money now.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. This is all so interesting. So I guess our tuition is not totally off. Like, ours is 40,000 US dollars, or that's one school. Some schools are 10,000 US dollars a year. Other schools are $65,000 a year. So every school varies, but 80,000 total in Australian dollars, which is probably like...
So it would be about 50,000 USD. And that's college. So like not many people go to college. You know, most people go to university. University was about 40K for the 4 years.
Oh, what's the difference between college and university?
Well, that was just what it was called. It was International College of Management, Sydney, and it's basically private. It was I went to a private one because I decided that I wanted to do marketing and events, and it was close to my house. But university can be private and public as well. But this one specifically that I went to, college, it was private, and the public one that I went to was called university, Macquarie University.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
And that was like the whole degree was about 40K for 4 years. That's insane. That's $10,000 a year, $10,000 Australian. So 40K Australian is probably, her thing fell down. She's no longer in Italy.
1 moment. You saw nothing.
Her backdrop fell, folks. Her backdrop fell.
Oh no.
Now you know.
Sweatpants.
Now you know we're lying. We are not in Italy.
What were you saying?
What was I saying?
40,000 Australian dollars, which is like $10,000 Australian a year.
A year. So like 40K Australian would probably be like 27,000 American for 4 years.
That's honestly good compared to American prices.
Yeah, or maybe 3 years. Whatever, guys. Don't come
Whatever.
for me. I'm trying my best. Okay?
Anyways,
like,
long story short is tuition's expensive. Yeah, cheaper in Australia, but expensive, period. Okay, and then can you go more into when you work after school? Is there like a program at certain companies, or is this a universal thing where anywhere you work, they help pay your debt from tuition?
They're not paying it off. Like, I'm working for it. So, for example, like, it comes out of my pay.
Gotcha.
I think if you make below a certain amount, they don't take it. But if you make above a certain amount, let's just say 50K a year, which I don't think that's the case, but basically if you make a certain amount and it's above that, then that's when they start to take money out, and that's how you pay it off. So you basically say you get $1,000 a week gross, you basically get taxed on it, plus you get HICS on it as well. So you come home with maybe, I don't know how much less, but and that's how you pay it off. But you only pay it off once you make X amount of money. So if you're working a casual job and you're not making that much money, they won't take it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then what's the living situation for you?
The living situation?
The living situation when you go to college. What's the living situation like at school?
You see, like I personally, me and all of my friends, none of us stayed in like university accommodation. I know like one person did, and that's purely because he lived really far and he wanted to move out of home. But it's mostly international students that stay there at the accommodation, because most of us you could just go home. You drive to school and you come home. That's it. I used to like drive to university with my little scooter, like brum brum.
Cute. Okay, interesting. I guess for us, it totally depends on the school you go to and what you prefer, but a lot of students, especially if they're going to a school like far away, like I'm originally from Chicago, I went to school in Michigan, you have to live on campus. And there's so many universities around the United States, but my first year I lived in a dorm. So I lived like in a hall with other first year college students.
That would be so fun.
It's like, God damn it. Let me get more tape. I'm so sorry. Hopefully that works now.
You're back.
So my freshman year of college, I lived in a dorm room with other college students. And a lot of universities have these dorm halls for any students, but it's usually for freshmen, sophomores, like your first and second year students. So that's where I lived my first year. And then my second and third year, I lived in my sorority house. Super American.
I want to hear all about that. We don't have those. Tell me everything.
I feel like college, talking to you, no offense, Jess, but like I am so grateful for the college experience.
Honestly, it sounds amazing. I mean, I've only seen it in the movies, right? I don't know. Tell me all. Look, I will say it sounds fun, but it also sounds like it can be pretty like hard in terms of living with girls all in the same house. And, at that age, there's a lot of, everybody's discovering themselves. So there's a lot of bitchiness. There's a lot of fights. There's a lot of, so yeah, how did you cope with all that?
This is going to sound so cliche, but I feel like you just have to surround yourself with people that you want to be like, or that you want to bring you higher in life and motivate you to do the things that you want. So surround yourself with good people. And I was so fortunate enough to find a few of my best friends there who I still talk to today and I'm still so close with and lived with in the silly sorority house, which is, for the most part, I would say pretty similar to what you see in the movies. Wow. Although some movies are very exaggerated. Right. Maybe next time you're in LA, we can watch them together and debrief what's accurate and what's not.
Oh, right. I thought you meant we could go to a sorority house. I was like, can we please do that?
No, I never want to go. No, I never want to do that again.
Why? Oh my God. Take me to experience the American vibe and the American dream.
The American vibe, the American dream. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, you know, past the age of 21, I think you're kind of done with the American college dream.
Really? Is it just like just a lot of party, a lot of...
Yes and no. Like, it's fun, but my senior year of high school, then I lived in a house with 12 girls. And so now, living alone, never thought I would love living alone, but I do. I don't think I could ever live with more than 5 girls again. Five is a lot. 1, I don't think I could ever live with more than 1 other roommate. So maybe a couple more, but I feel like I've been there, done that. And I loved it, but I can't go back.
Did you have to share a room?
So freshman year, my first year, yes. In the dorms, I had 1 roommate, and then we had like a connected room and shared a bathroom with 2 other girls. Fine. Yeah, it was totally fine. So we did. But you can choose what you prefer before you move in.
So does that come out of the final fee of like the college fee?
Yeah. So usually room and board is included if you choose it. So you can choose room and board, or you can choose to not live technically on campus and either rent an apartment or if you live close by, just commute. Like,
oh my God, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah,
I never had that. I actually was living with my ex at the time. So, I mean, a little bit I was at home still, and then I moved out with my ex. So I had my own apartment.
That's fun, though. That's like one thing that makes you feel like adult. Like, I feel like college is the first time where you can really be independent and learn what it's like. So at least you got to live with her.
Yeah. I think she was also going to uni at the same time too.
Oh, did you guys have any like sporting events at school?
Like at uni?
Yeah. Like, did you have a sports team?
Not at my uni, no. Not at my uni. I'm not sure about other ones, but Australia is such a sporty country. So I suppose maybe in other ones. In mine, definitely not. There was none of that. No.
Yeah.
Or if there was, I was definitely not included in it. So no, I just went and did my subjects and then literally went home. Like we have lectures and tutorials. And at my uni, you don't necessarily have to attend the lectures, but you have to attend the tutorials. So I didn't really attend the lectures, but I attended the tutorials.
What's the difference?
I still don't know. I think like the lectures is like quite literally what the word is, a lecture. They're just talking and showing you slides and all that. So like a lot of theory. And in the tutorial, it's a little bit more practical, a little bit more practice. So you kind of get into a little bit more deep and like you do, group projects, which is where you get teamed up with other people and then you do your group projects or group presentation or whatever it is that you need to do. Mm-hmm. So in a tutorial, like, because I was studying events, in a tutorial we would also, organize the event all together and like, and it's a little bit more tight per se.
Yeah.
I can't say that I had that whole beautiful experience like you did.
Well, no, you still had a good experience. Like,
yeah, I did.
Different.
I was driving to uni with my scooter in my heels because it was a business school, so I had to dress up business. So I'm wearing my heels, I'm wearing my blazer and with my helmet in my scooter, and I'm like, I felt like so sexy.
You had to dress up to go to class?
For this specific one, yeah. But that's because it's like this specific college. Other ones in Australia, like universities, are not really like that. You just wear whatever you want. But for this one, because it was a business school and it was private and it was like, that's when that's why we dressed up.
Okay, that's fun. Fun for most days, but some days was probably like, oh my God, I don't want to put makeup on today. What happens if you showed up in sweatpants?
You can't. I've never done it. I have no idea. I've only done it when I pulled all-nighters because there's been times that I'm like, I need to pull an all-nighter. I have I need to study and I have an exam tomorrow. And I have no idea. So we would just pull an all-nighter there. My friend, actually, she was from South Korea. So she actually stayed on camp. Like, not on campus, just on the bottom. Like on the bottom of the hill, which is still close. And so I would then sleep at her house and then go back up for the exam.
Good old college days. Miss those. Oh my God, I feel like there's so much that I could talk about. We should do another episode on sororities and like clubs that you can join so you can talk about it. Like, were there any clubs?
I went to class and I went home.
And so now, never mind. Sororities will literally just be an episode of me being like, so yeah, we had date parties and we saw boys and we did a lot of philanthropy and it was so much fun. KAO. TLAM.
What's that?
Kappa Alpha Theta is always the one. Wherever there's fun, always think of theta. Do 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 do. Always think of theta.
Wait, were you a cheerleader? Is that a cheerleader thing? I'm so confused.
No, Jess. I was just in a sorority.
Oh my God. This is a new side of you that I haven't seen. Alpha Theta, woohoo! G, give me a story.
Okay, let me give you a story, Jess. You want a story? I will give you a story. Oh, icky. I hate this one so much. I'm sorry I'm reading it to you in advance, but like I have to because this is kind of the sad truth of some schools. Freshman year, I was in an all-girls dorm. I kept waking up with little red bites on my arms and chest, then started noticing little insects on my sheets, on my desk, just one here, over there. I caught one, borrowed a magnifying glass, and spent the next hour Googling various household pests. Not bed bugs. They were baby cockroaches. Baby cockroaches were eating my skin while I slept.
Yuck.
After I told the RA, they evacuated the entire dorm to get rid of the cockroaches.
That's kind of cute. Little baby
Not my definition of cute. Not. I would.
Well, what would you rather, though? Would you rather, this is another episode of insects, but would you rather tiny, like little cute cockroaches or huge ones that fly?
Neither, Jess. Neither.
But which one would you rather? If you had to pick one or the other in your room, which one would you pick?
Yeah, obviously the little ones, but like, why do I have to choose? No, well, I would.
We've got like big ass cockroaches that fly over here in Australia.
Okay. But I'm sure you don't like them. They're not your friend.
No, I don't. But like when I see little baby ones, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, oh, they're cute. They're tiny. And then I go, kill. Sorry for the people that love the animals. But I am sorry, I kill cockroaches. Don't come for me.
No, cockroaches are the one insect that is okay to kill. They do nothing for us, and they're going to take over our world one day.
They're actually the cleanest insect ever.
Okay, we don't care about their cleanliness. They will eat everything in sight until the human race is gone, and they will live. They can, no.
Do you know how many cockroaches we have in Australia? Like people, you know how we go around bare feet, and I'm always terrified. I'm like, I'm gonna literally step on a cockroach one day or another. Because when I come home from a night out, I take my heels off and I'm walking bare feet, and it's like, I'm terrified. I've been so close to stepping on them. Yuck.
I never knew Australia was actually New York City. I'm sorry. Do you have any stories?
Okay, I'll read this. Ew. Okay. One of my friends took a dump in a Taco Bell Mexican pizza box and put it in our other friend's microwave. They didn't find it for weeks. Every day when they were at class, he would sneak in and hit. At 1 minute, their room was the worst smelling place on earth. Ew. That's just, no. Yuck. No, that makes me gag. Like, I can't. That actually makes me gag. I can't deal with that. Nah. Ew. This is the time that I would unfriend you. Absolutely unfriended. You are not my friend.
Yeah.
Yuck. No, like I can already feel myself starting to gag. I can't do it.
Okay. All right. So this was clearly in a dorm room or like a shared room in college, correct?
Yuck. That's
Ja-
just gross.
Jail.
Yuck.
Icky. A roommate horror story is what I have next. I met my college roommate through Facebook, and we actually had a lot in common. Fun fact, side note from this story, I also met my freshman roommate from Facebook. To make a long story short, there was food everywhere, used tampons not in the garbage can, and really bad smelling laundry. She threw up after she drank too much, and she wore the clothes that she threw up on without washing them the following day. I constantly got kicked out at 3 a.m. so she could have a quickie with a one night stand. And on top of all of this, she was so rude to me. She talked bad about me to my friends, and long story short, I hope no one had an even worse roommate situation than I did.
Oh, sorry, gal.
That's rough.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry too, honey.
That is disgusting. Ew. Yeah. I'm gonna give you one more.
Okay.
And then we'll leave you guys with a good story for the week, and then we're gonna say goodbye. But I'm gonna give you one more, not so horrifying but creepy story. My dorm was next to the school's main sports arena, and many townies come up for the different events. One very drunk middle-aged sports fans somehow tailed the student into the dorms, proceeded to stumble his way up to the third floor, opened the door right across from me, and tucked himself nicely into bed. He was awoken by my neighbor's screams, and the cops had to show up to escort him home. Ew. Wow. That's just not cute.
No, not cute. Mm-mm.
Not cute. Mm-mm. Not it. You know what? We've heard a lot of this. Now, give me something good, G. Give me a good story that we can all leave today feeling warm and fuzzy.
Okay, I have a good story.
Okay, let's hear it.
A Pennsylvania entrepreneur left her 6-figure engineering job to volunteer at mechanic shops around her area to learn how to fix cars. She later founded the Girls Auto Clinic when she was finished. The Girls Auto Clinic is the first of its kind in the nation to offer car care memberships, car care education classes, and hands-on mechanic workshops for women looking to learn the skills for themselves. Quote from the founder, "I was tired of feeling helpless and having to go talk to a guy about my car needs. I wanted to learn for myself." And fun fact about this mechanic shop is that not only can you take classes to learn about cars, but when you're waiting for your car to get repaired, there's a built-in nail salon. So you can get a manicure or a pedicure when you're waiting for your car to be done.
Yes! That's genius! That's genius. Money making right there.
And it's open to men too, by the way. It's not just for women. How cool.
Yes, so cool.
I've been judged so many times at a car repair shop, or like when I'm getting my oil changed in my car, they're like, "Oh, how does this stick look?" And I'm like, "Looks great."
Looks good, I guess. I don't know.
Like, I'd love for someone to explain to me, okay, so when the oil's down this much on the stick, you need to get it changed. But when it's up higher, it's okay. Like, I would love for someone to explain that to me.
I know. I love that story. Thanks for sharing. Love it.
Of course.
Yeah. I think this is it for this episode, guys. Thank you for listening in. It's always so good. Always so much fun. We hope that you learned something. We hope that you laughed with us. And if you didn't, oh well. And we'll see you for the next one.
Ciao.
Ciao.